Hey, you guys, you are now tuned into All About Credit, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about your credit because credit is so important, and so many of us just don't take credit as that big of an issue. We're more worried about everyday life and our everyday bills and just the things that we want right now and the things that we have to deal with. And that's totally okay. But I really want to prepare you guys to just start paying attention to your credit because when you get up in age and you're in your 30s and you're in your 40s, you're going to want to set down a foundation, and you want to make sure that that foundation is secure. And I don't want you guys to go through living paycheck to paycheck, or I don't want you guys to have to continue to pay your landlord. So the goal should be to eventually own a property or eventually start a business or do something. And you're going to have credit to do some of these things because you may not have the capital to just start, and that's okay. But you have to be willing to put in the work and just monitor your credit. So get familiar with your credit. That's the first step. So whatever app you choose to use, whether it's Credit Karma, whether it is Credit Sesame, whether it's Experience, whatever credit app you choose to use, get familiar with one of them and just get familiar with what's on your credit. Know if you have collections, know if you have judgments, liens, how many delinquent marks you have, because our credit is broke up into a variety of different numbers, and each one of them like just represents something, whether our payment history or the length of our credit actually matter, how many creditors, the variety of different credit. So how many hard inquiries we got? Do we apply for a lot of hard inquiries, get a lot of hard inquiries in like the same time span? Because if we did, then that kind of looks like it like throws up a red flag to the next creditor. So what you really want to do is start monitoring your credit. So if you have a hard inquiry, I will teach you how to remove them on this channel. I actually did a video showing you exactly how to remove hard inquiries. So for those of you who just tuning in, you can check on this channel because there's other videos as well that may help you to be able to remove something off your credit and move it off absolutely for free. So the goal in the agenda is to remove these items off so that you can just get a fresh start on life, get a fresh start, because credit is a really great thing to have, but we have to know how to manage credit, because credit can also be a bad thing, because offering you you'll have several credit card companies offering you credit cards, and once they offering you these credit cards, then you'll get them like it'll be like 10,000, 5,000, 3,000 and up, and you may have American Express, you may have Discovery, and they'll just offer you, a company could offer you one today and another company could offer you one tomorrow. So once you be able to establish your credit and start to get these things off, you should really monitor your spending and monitor your credit cards, because some people get credit cards and just go crazy. Because I'm going to teach you how to get the larger credit cards so that you can have the credit that you need, so that if you want to go anywhere or want to just go out and enjoy life or just go to a store and have an everyday expense, you'll be able to have that credit card like right there at your side. And not only will you be able to have that credit card at your side, you'll be able to utilize that credit card on anything that you choose. And that's a very great thing, because so many things happen in the everyday life. And if you're not at the top and you don't have a whole bunch of money and you're working from job to job like so many of us are, then it's always a great idea to just start establishing our credit, because we can utilize our credit to purchase a home, or purchase a car, to start a business, to do anything that we want. And they'll give us the loan, they'll give us the money, but they have to see that we have a great credit score. So I'm going to teach you how to raise your credit score. And not only am I going to teach you how to raise your credit score, I'm going to try to put you guys' credit score within the 700. And not only am I going to try to do that, I'm going to try to do it within 60 to 90 days without you paying off all them bills. So some of them creditors that you have on your account is going to go away. Some of them hard inquiries, I'm going to teach you how to move old addresses and old phone numbers so that you can see your credit start to improve drastically. So let's start monitoring our credit, because if I'm telling you, all you guys have to do is monitor your credit, see what's on your credit. If it's a hard inquiry, come back to my channel and look up the hard inquiry video and find out how to remove that hard inquiry. If it's a collection agency, come back to my channel and look up the collection agency video and find out how to remove that particular item. And each video will show you how. If it's a creditor, if it's a hard inquiry, I have done videos on that to show you how to remove them things. I've also showed you how to remove all your old addresses and phone numbers off your credit, and why it's so important to move these items off your credit, because they are a trail and they leave a trail. And if the credit bureau is keeping your old addresses and old phone numbers, so whenever you move, it's easier for any creditor to find you and say that. Okay, so now that you know how to get them hard inquiries, collections, and all of that off, let's talk about today and what this video is about. Today, this video is about how to remove them bankruptcies, them judgments that's sitting on your credit report, because a bankruptcy is definitely a red flag, and no one's going to want to give you any kind of loans, and they're going to think that you're unreliable in the credit world. That's how you're going to look in the credit world. So I'm going to show you the loophole in removing them judgments off your credit report, them bankruptcies off your credit report, because yes, there is a loophole in removing it off your credit report. So let's imagine you're able to remove a bankruptcy off your credit report. You're able to remove a bankruptcy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's affecting your credit, and it's affecting your credit in a very, very negative way. So the loophole is, when you see this on your credit report, you go to your credit report and you scroll down and you look to see who furnished the credit bureau with this information. The credit bureau is going to say that they got the information from your local courthouse, and the local courthouse supplied them with the information and furnished them with the information, and that's just totally inaccurate. They did not get that information from the courthouse. And not only that, we're not going to say that the information is not accurate. You may have that bankruptcy. You may have that, and that's yours, and it's totally yours. But the loophole into getting it off is the courthouse do not supply any information to third-party sources. So the credit bureau is considered a third-party source. The courthouse keep information for them in their records, and if you're there, you can get, if you're have a case there, you can get the information because it's you. But they do not supply it to a third party, meaning a third party cannot just come down there and get the information. That's not how the courthouse work, because that would be illegal. That's why we have lawyers and everything for when we want to get information. They don't just supply individuals, not even the credit bureau, not even companies, with this information. And the credit bureau saying that they got this information and it's accurate and they got it from the credit bureau, they are actually reporting inaccurate information. So that's the loophole in how you get that removed, because if the courthouse is not giving them this information and not sharing this information with them. And what it is the credit bureau used two different companies to give them information about individuals. And what they do is they look up information. It's just a big system, and they share the information and give it with them. And the credit bureaus don't list them as a company that they get the information from, but they actually get it from two outside companies. And these companies pretty much just look into you and pass the information on. And then the credit bureau reports it on your credit report. So that's the loophole in getting it off. And how do you get it off exactly? Because I've told you the loophole, but you still may not know how to get it off. And it's great knowing the loophole, but if you don't know how to get it off exactly, knowing the loophole is not really anything. So here's the loophole in getting these off your credit report. This is what you guys want to do. And you can do this one or two ways, but either way will work, and either way will be sufficient to give you what you need to get these items removed off your credit report. So, number one way, you can pretty much want to write a letter, send it off to the courthouse, asking them just to verify the information that they reported to the credit bureau. And you also want to supply them with the information that's being reported. And what's going to happen is you also want to send it in a letter, also attach a envelope in the inside and put a stamp on it so that they can get back to you. And they're going to send a letter back to you, and the letter roughly is going to say that they do not supply any information to a third party source, and that they did not supply any information to a third-party source. And then you want to send that letter off to the credit bureau that's reporting the bankruptcy judgment, and tell them that the courthouse has sent you a letter telling them that they did not supply any information. If they leave this on your credit report, it's reporting inaccurate information. And they pretty much is going to remove the item, because they've ever removed the item because they know that they did not get that information from the courthouse, and it's not accurate that they got it from the courthouse, so therefore they're reporting inaccurate information. And we always have a right to have our credit accurate, and that's the Fair Credit Act. And so that's why we really want to monitor our credit and just get familiar with it. Another way to do it is the second way. You can go down there, and when you go down to the courthouse, you can pretty much talk to the court clerk and let them know what the credit bureau is saying, and they'll tell you too, and they'll give you a letter right there saying that they do not report any information to a third party source, and you can send that letter off. So that's the second way. You can even write a letter and enclose an envelope and a stamp so that the clerk can get back to you. Or you can just go down there to the courthouse and just knock it out, and make sure that you send it off to whatever creditor, Equifax, TransUnion, Experiences, whatever credit bureau that's reporting the inaccurate information. You guys, I love talking to you. I hope that you go out there and utilize this information. For all of you that are new, please hit the button and ring the bell and subscribe to the channel. Even hit the red subscribe button. I'm going to be doing weekly videos to show you different methods that you can utilize to get different things off your credit. I did videos showing you addresses and phone numbers, hard inquiries, collections. So whatever you have on your credit report, monitor it, and then just come back and watch the video to get that particular item off your credit report. I love talking to you guys. Come back. I look forward to seeing you guys here next week, because who knows what next week's video is going to be. Thanks for tuning in to All About Credit, and bye, you guys.